Aaron Siegel, reporting for the New York Times. We're asking people who they want to vote for and why. Stay tuned.
Times Square has people coming here from around the world, from all different backgrounds and cultures. It's going to be really interesting to see what they think of the election.
So I don't know who I'd really vote for, because it's undetermined at this point in time, but by the time it gets to me and Washington State, it's usually determined by electoral votes.
That was interesting that he didn't really know who he was going to vote for. We're going to try to get a more decisive opinion on who they're going to vote for. We're going to ask someone else.
I'm going to be voting for Clinton, and I think it's because she has the most experience out of the candidates. I would definitely not be voting Republican.
My name is Aaron Siegel. I'm here for the New York Times Education. We got some really interesting stuff going on today. Stay tuned.
I'm reporting here in New York Times, asking people what they think about the election. Times Square are very busy, either taking pictures or going to their next destination.
I think, first of all, I'm a Democrat. I am very much against the views of the Republican. She's a conservative. They're not good in terms of women's rights.
People have strong opinions, or some don't have any opinions at all about the election.
He has experience. He's already running Ohio. So he, at the end of the day, seems a lot less crazy than some of those other candidates.
Many varying opinions here in Times Square. I'm reporting for the New York Times.
I'm Emily Hughes at the School of the New York Times, and I'm here asking people who they're supporting in the upcoming presidential election. Even though it's only 10:30 in the morning on a Sunday, plenty of people are already in Times Square. Let's see what they have to say.
Probably Hillary Clinton. I've always voted Democrat, and I think she has the most experience.
I think. With a line this long, there will be plenty of different opinions.
Donald Trump because he supports small businesses.
This has been Annalee Hughes signing off from Times Square.
Hi, I'm Annabelle Davis from the School of the New York Times, reporting from Times Square.
With the primary elections underway, we're asking the people of Times Square their thoughts on the 2016 presidential candidates.
In Spain, Donald Trump is not have not good fame. I know people say it's not.
With current polls and primary results showing no clear favorite in the Democratic or Republican parties, each candidate is campaigning harder than ever to try to win their party's nomination.
We're supporting Bernie Sanders because we like his politics. I like his ideas on economics and the way that I think he will be fair in the way he treats the constituents.
This has been Political Opinions from Times Square. I'm Annabelle Davis from the New York Times.
Editor of the New York Times is here in Times Square today, finding out who people support for the upcoming election.
Being a large tourist hub in New York City, Times Square is a likely place to hold a great diversity of opinions.
Definitely, this is really embarrassing. I don't remember this section, but Bernie Sanders.
Okay. So that's how people seem to be feeling about the upcoming election. I'm Ella Jenny from New York Times.
So clearly a lot of people here in Times Square seem to be supporting Democratic candidates.
Hi, my name is Barbara Banchik, and I'm from the School of the New York Times, and I'm here in Times Square asking some questions about the presidential election.
We're using Times Square because we're hoping to get perspectives from people from all over the world.
This kind of boggles my mind. I may end up voting for Hillary Clinton. Not sure about Bernie Sanders.
Probably Casey. Other than that, I don't really know.
After only an hour in Times Square, I've heard from people with very strong opinions, some people who are undecided, and people who didn't want to talk about it at all.
Barbara Banchik, reporting at Times Square for the New York Times.
I'm Isaac Sultan, reporting live from Times Square. Today we're asking people who they support for president.
This is Times Square, New York, live at 10:05 a.m.
Who do I support for the New York Times? The New York Times tells me I shouldn't vote for Trump.
What do you think?
I shouldn't vote for Rubio. I have a very difficult.
I want Hillary Clinton.
I would like to see Hillary Clinton to be the next president of the United States.
Thank you.
I would tired of these guys to be in the White House, guys. They don't do nothing. Let the lady be there. She got experience, and she gonna do a good job for us.
An American flag hanging proudly in Times Square as we get ready to vote for our next president.
Bernie Sanders, most honest guy out there.
I'm Isaac Sultan.
Hello, my name is Caroline Johnson. I'm reporting for the School of New York Times, and we're out here interviewing people about who they're voting for. To interview people who they're supporting and why in the presidential election.
Good. Okay, I'm voting for Bernie Sanders, mostly because he's actually addressing things that are relevant to my generation.
I'm voting for Gary Johnson. He appeals to me ideologically, and if the Libertarian Party gets 5% of the vote, then they actually receive major party status.
As we were walking through Times Square, we realized that a lot of people weren't from the U.S., therefore they did not know who to vote for or who the candidates were. Caroline Johnson from the New York Times.
We're good.
My name is Dan Orlick. I'm here with the New York Times Education Program in Times Square, and I'm going to be asking people who they're voting for in the upcoming election and why.
I'm pretty sure I'm voting for Hillary. I think she's the smartest, most capable, most experienced candidate, and I think she's got the proverbial cojones.
Here in Times Square, it's one of the busiest places and most famous places in the world. There are a ton of people here every day, so what better place to find out people's opinions about the election? In a place with so much to do, politics might not be the first thing that comes to mind, but people always have opinions. You just have to find them, and that's what we're doing today.
I'm not sure if I could vote for Trump even though I'm a Republican. He's so off the wall, but Hillary's got a whole lot of poise. I think she might be the person.
I'm Dan Orlick with the New York Times Education Program. We got a lot of different opinions in what's been one of the most crazy elections in a long time. Thanks for watching.
Reporting with the School of the New York Times on New Yorkers' preferences for the presidential candidates. We're here in Times Square at about 10 o'clock in the morning, and there are a lot of people around that we're going to try to interview.
Why?
Why?
The lesser of most evils.
In the hub of such a big city where there are so many different types of people that crowd around, it's really interesting to hear the different answers that people have to give for this question.
Hillary. I don't know what else they were running. It's funny that they don't want like Hillary because it's like they don't have love or something.
I'm Ella Joplin, reporting from the School of the New York Times about people's preferences on our presidential candidates.
We're here at the crossroads of the world to ask people who they support in the upcoming presidential race, whether they're from here or not.
From everything that I've seen in the debates, I haven't been able to find a solid candidate.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm leaning towards, I guess I'm not undecided.
After interviewing someone who's undecided about the race, we hope to find someone else who has strong political opinions about who they think will win.
Why do you support Hillary Clinton?
Because she is the most experienced, most diplomatic, most aware of the needs of.
This was Ella Spirabarnum reporting in Times Square for the School of the New York Times.
Hi, I'm Emily from the School of the New York Times, and we're in Times Square. Here in Times Square, interviewing people on the street about their thoughts on the election.
Hillary Clinton, so I think she'd be the best on foreign policy.
Favor.
Anyone. We don't like them from.
As you can see, people from all over the world have different political views. Thank you for the School of the New York Times. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, my name is Session Bax. I'm here from the School of the New York Times. We're asking people's opinions on the presidential election of 2016.
It's Sunday morning here at Times Square. We're here to find diverse opinions on the presidential election and what people from all over the world think about these possible candidates.
Donald Trump. He's accomplished
So far, we got Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. After interviewing almost 5 people, we got rejected, but we're still hoping for the best for our final interview.
I feel that you young people are going to be paying a tremendous amount of money out of your hard-earned paycheck.
With a lot of rejection and some successes, I got a lot of diverse opinions. Some people a little bit worried about the future, and some a little bit ignorant on the situation. Ezra reporting from Times Square for the New York Times.
Reporting live from Times Square. Today we're asking people who they support for president.
This is Times Square, New York, live at 10:05 a.m.
Who do I support for the New York Times? The New York Times tells me I shouldn't vote for Trump.
What do you think?
I shouldn't vote for Rubio. And I have a very different...
I want Hillary Clinton.
I would like to be... I would like to see Hillary Clinton to be the next president of the United States.
Thank you.
We're tired of these guys to be in the White House, guys. They don't do nothing. Let the lady be there. She got experience, and she gonna do a good job for us.
An American flag hanging proudly in Times Square as we get ready to vote for our next president.
Bernie Sanders, the most honest guy out there.
I'm Isaac Sultan.
This is Jack Freeman from the School of the New York Times in Times Square, and we're going to find out who people are supporting for President of the United States this year. As the presidential race heats up, we're going to find out here in Times Square who people support for President of the United States, even if they're not going to be voting in the next election.
Republicans, but not Donald Trump. So I believe that somehow they will merge, Rubio and Cruz, and I will support them.
After finding one man to support the Republicans but not Donald Trump, we hope to find someone else to tell us who has their vote for President of the United States.
I'm Donald Trump, and I just think that our country needs to be run like a business.
After fighting the 2 Republicans in the city of New York, this is Jack Freeman reporting for the New York Times in Times Square.
I'm Justine Critter from the School of the New York Times, and we're here reporting for the preferences of the presidential elections. So we're here in Times Square, and we're just going to walk around and ask random people a few questions about the presidential election.
First, we're Canadian, so
we're
not actually American, but if I could vote, it'd be for Bernie Sanders.
Who would you vote for and why?
Actually, I would vote for Hillary Clinton, I guess. I'm actually Canadian.
It's very interesting to see the various answers from the people who aren't even the Americans and who yet still have very determined opinions on this issue.
Kasich. I'm not a big fan of Trump. I like Kasich of all the candidates, so far, it's the only one that makes any sense.
Hi, my name is Justine Critter. I'm with the School of the New York Times, and we're finally done reporting on the preferences for the presidential election.
Hi, I'm Kira Sage, reporting for the School of the New York Times in Times Square, and we're asking people about the presidential elections.
Square is filled with people from all over the world, but they all know what's going on in the presidential elections, and we're here to get their opinion on it.
Okay, so definitely not Trump. Just to start there. I'm leaning Republican, and I vote for health issues, so I think I really am into
Presidential election.
Hillary Clinton.
Why?
I think that she has the nous and the presidential qualities to get the job done.
Even with such busy lives, people all over the world still have time to learn about the election and form their opinions on all of the candidates.
I'm Kirsty, signing off from the School of the New York Times.
I'm Lucian Bieber-Drakel. We're here for the New York Times in Times Square, asking a vast range of people their opinions on the upcoming election. So we've seen a Bernie Sanders supporter, a Hillary supporter, and a Trump supporter so far. Sorry, can you say again?
Say it again.
I like Trump.
Why?
Because he's awesome.
Why is he awesome?
Because he's rich.
I'm voting for Bernie Sanders. Feel burn.
I'm still undecided, but I am leaning towards Bernie Sanders.
This concludes our project of interviewing people in Times Square about their presidential preferences. I'm Lucian Bieber-Drakel, reporting for the New York Times.
I'm Margot Gould, reporting from the School of the New York Times, and we're asking
is filled with people from all over the world. So asking about the presidential elections will get us many different results. In this upcoming election.
Mr. Sanders looks pretty good.
And why?
I think he's a righteous dude.
Even though people are from all over the world, everyone more or less knows what's going on in this year's presidential election.
Okay. Hi, I'm Malika Sharjaya, and I'm here in Times Square reporting for the School of the New York Times.
Okay, so as you can see, we're here in Times Square getting ready to ask people who they're supporting in the 2016 presidential election.
I'm supporting Clinton. It's not because her husband been there. It's not because she walking down at Obama. It's the time to get a lady and a...
It's still early this Sunday morning, but Times Square is already filled with tourists to talk to.
So, I don't have a certain person to go with, but I will go with the Democratic Party because their beliefs align with my beliefs. Nala for the School of the New York Times.
Hi, I'm Pilar Diaz reporting for the New York Times, asking people in Times Square who they favor for president.
It's a beautiful morning in Times Square the day after the South Carolina primary. We're going to ask people and we're super excited.
At this point, Bernie Sanders, my fan. Here's why. I think he embodies the fact that money should be out of politics.
So far, people have been really nice and willing to talk to us, so we're going to see who else we can interview who will answer our question.
Who I'm going to vote for? I'm going to vote for whoever wins the Republican nomination, and it could be a rock for all I care, because I will not vote for Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton.
This is Pilar Diaz from the New York Times in Times Square signing off.
Hi, my name is Shoshana Blunt, and I'm from the School of the New York Times reporting in Times Square asking people who want to become president.
It's a gorgeous morning in Times Square. There aren't many people out yet, but people seem really excited, or not. We're gonna meet a bunch of people. What do you think about the people running for president?
I don't think anybody has got anything on Barack Obama. People like Donald Trump are going to completely balls right now.
Yeah. So far, people have been really open to answering our questions. People really enjoy talking to us and giving their opinion, although not everybody wants to give their name. It's okay, privacy, we get it.
It's not Donald Trump. I signed a petition in the UK to ban him in our country. Because he's just terrible.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Shoshana. We're signing off. We've been interviewing people all morning here in Times Square about who they prefer for president, and signing off. Have a great day.
I'm Sophia with the New York Times, and we're here in Times Square. So our class, Writing in the Big City, is interviewing people via Snapchat.
I'm not really favoring anybody right now. However, I think Trump might, I don't know, he's doing pretty damn good.
See, some people do have an opinion on the election, and some people don't.
More who I don't favor than who I do favor. I am against Donald Trump because he's an arrogant, pompous, self-righteous person.
Sophia from the New York Times. Thanks for watching.
Chowdhury reporting for the New York Times School of Education in Times Square.
Today we'll be talking to people about their opinions on the presidential election of 2016.
So I'm still deciding on who I'm voting for in 2016.
As you can see by our first interview, people are still unsure about who to vote for.
Anybody but Trump.
I'm Shreya Chowdhury reporting from Times Square for the New York Times School of Education.
I'm Vivian Chang from the School of New York Times reporting from Times Square. Today we're asking people about who they support for the 2016 presidential election. Go.
Okay, so I'm a big Bernie Sanders supporter because I believe in his platform. I believe that education should be universal and affordable for everybody.
People here in Times Square coming from different backgrounds support many different candidates.
I hope America will stay under the Democratic because I think it's more open party. It will be easier for the relationships for us.